Flash of news. Chase your accuracy news.
Facebook threatens to stop Australians sharing local and international news. Facebook is threatening to stop Australian users from sharing news if the social media giant is forced to compensate media companies for publishing their stories. In a world first, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission released a draft code in July directing social media giants to negotiate fair payment deals. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg and Communications Minister Paul Fletcher. Facebook had an imbalance in bargaining power and this needed to be fixed. The competition regulator is proposing new laws that would allow commercial news media companies to negotiate an appropriate payment for news content. Australia and New Zealand Managing Director for Facebook Leaston said the draft code of conduct ignored the relationship between social media and news organizations, which he claimed would suffer the most. Assuming this draft code becomes law, we will reluctantly stop allowing publishers and people in Australia from sharing local and international news on Facebook and Instagram, Mr. Easton said in a statement on Tuesday. This is not our first choice, it is our last. But it is the only way to protect against an outcome that defies logic and will hurt, not help, the long-term vibrancy of Australia's news and media sector. Under the proposed new arrangement, Facebook would be forced into third-party arbitration with media companies if it failed to reach an agreement with them. An independent umpire would make a decision within 45 business days. Should media companies fail to agree on an umpire with Facebook, the Australian Communications and Media Authority would appoint a panel of 3 arbitrators with legal, industry or economic experience. News outlets and the social media giants would pay for this conciliation over payment terms for circulating their content. But Mr. Easton says the new regulation misunderstands the dynamics of the internet and will do great damage to news organizations. When crafting this new legislation, the commission overseeing the process ignored important facts, most critically the relationship between the news media and social media and which one benefits most from the other, he said. The managing director said he supports the Australian government's goal of supporting news organizations, in particular local newspapers. The proposed law is unprecedented in its reach and seeks to regulate every aspect of how tech companies do business with news publishers, Mr. Easton said. Most perplexing, it would force Facebook to pay news organizations for content that the publishers voluntarily place on our platforms and at a price that ignores the financial value we bring publishers.
Flash of news. Chase your accuracy news.